And I have a loose wrist when I'm doing this because all the little hairs are a little crazy and everywhere. It's easier to do that if I just go boop, 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 boop with my wrist. Not too hard. Just throw them in there. Do your best. And it's okay if I put some of this orange on top of the yellow. And it'll make even a lighter orange, which is nice. I like that. And I'll place some orange here, just a little. Staying in the direction I see the lines going, not just putting lines where I want to put them, but putting where I see this light gray. Only light gray. Only light gray. Just a little, and that's enough there. And all these little itty bitty whiskers that you see, we can put those on top after it dries because they overlap this darker color. So we'll put it in dark color and then we'll put the yellow on top. So we're not going to worry about those details right now. Okay, now we're pretty much good with the orange and we can move on to gray. I'm going to do the same thing of either using Bob or Slim, depending upon how much area needs to be covered. There's not a lot of the regular gray. There's in fact more dark gray and more black that I need to pay attention to. So right now I'm just going to work on the small parts that are gray. I have to be careful when I have the orange and the green touching because orange and green can make a brown and I don't want brown, but I do like it when the yellow and the green touch because then I get a lighter green. So if you notice your colors are mixing up too much, add more paint on your brush and then place it on lightly. That way they don't blend together. Any more gray? Oh, just a little bit around here. That's good there. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to the next color. Ready? What should it be? Looking here. Dark gray. Anything that's dark gray needs to be purple. So my dark gray is my nose here, the parts of the eyes that are around there, and some of the little dark areas here of the mouth. and the rest should pretty much be blue, okay? There's not a lot of dark gray here. There's most of that light, but I can put in just a little. So I can put in a little bit of dark gray in the highlighted areas here, and the eyes, and then nose. I'm going to use Bob for this because Bob helps me make straight lines and a little bit of detail. But I'll need Slim for when I'm working on the eyes, because Slim is pointed and it's so much easier to do circles with him and round objects. It's a little harder to do it with the rectangular shaped paintbrush. Can you see? Okay. Turning my brush vertical so I can do all these little lines. And right now my nose just looks crazy. It really does. But that's okay. I'm gonna pop this in, and I'll maybe just put the highlights in after I get the shape established. And of course I can fix that later. And if you have little areas where you have the little white speckles on your canvas showing, put more paint so they disappear. Alright, that's most for my dark gray. Time to finish up with everything that's black. So I'm going to use blue. You'll notice that I use the brush in the same way that the hair grows. And it's fun to find an animal that has fur or feathers, because then you can really look at the way the feathers are flowing or the fur and make your paintbrush go that way too. Now I'm going to pull out Bubba because I have a lot of large areas here, and then I'll pull Bob back out for some of the medium areas. Hey Bubba, time to get to work. This whole section here is looking spectacular, and that's because I'm really paying attention to what I see, not just putting down what I want to put down. So now I'm pretty much just finishing up all the blue. color that I didn't use, I'm going to utilize for the background. That way, it gives it that pop. If there are any areas that are white that you need to apply to your artwork, like these whiskers here are white, but I need to paint them yellow. If you see areas like that, wait until the whole thing is dry before you try to put that on. Because if you try to put yellow on top of the blue, it's going to turn green. If you put that yellow on top of any other color, it'll make it a little bit muddy. So just wait until it's dry to add any of those little details of your brightest color. Okay, I've pretty much completed everything that has to be done with the dog. Now I'm going to work on the background. On my paint palette here, I have some red and a little bit of some neon pink. So I'll use those for the background. Since I'm not going to do what is actually in the picture, I'm just going to apply the color. I'm going to use my own creativity and see how it goes. Ready? Let's get to it. If your paint is too thick, go ahead and add a little water to it and that'll loosen it up. While you're painting, you'll get to the edge of your canvas. And you may decide, I don't know what to do with the edge here. If you want, you can paint the sides of your canvas all around, or you can just do the front. Personally, I like to do the sides because it looks good on the wall if you don't frame it. I want this lower section, which is a little blanket, to stand out from the red that's at the top here. So I'm going to add just a little bit of purple to my red, or to this little pink here. Get a nice warm dark color here, and then I can apply that. So since I'm already doing all the edges of the canvas, I can't reach the bottom. So I'm going to wait for this to dry, and when it dries up there, I can just flip it upside down and paint this part. Now that your artwork is complete, the only thing left to do is sign it. So in the corner, place your initials or your signature, where everyone can see who made such beautiful artwork. Great job!